You know, the United States of America was the greatest country before Trump, and it's the greatest country now after Trump. The white supremacists want to go back. They want to go back to the days when it was legal to own slaves.
You are about to be entertained by the ape, the young man who has become a legend in his own time. You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Oh, no, you can't handle the truth. What's up, everybody? Yours truly, the R is in the house. It's October 13th, 2022. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Oh, lots to talk about tonight. The LA City Council. Oh, my. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month. And we're going to get into that. Not necessarily the happy Hispanic Heritage Month, but we're going to get into, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. Oh, plus, we just got a lot going on tonight. New Jersey and New York and New Jersey are declaring war against legal gun owners. And we're going to get into that. I'm going to get heavily into that. In any case, everybody, welcome. Thanks for joining me. It's a couple minutes past the hour. I just saw two people on and they disappeared. Okay. All right. Welcome to the Ron Kelly Show. And it's on Facebook. It's on LinkedIn. It's on YouTube. And it's on Twitter. I'm not sure if I want to stay on Twitter. But anyway, welcome and thanks for joining a brother on a Thursday night. It's October 13th, 2022. So the wow. I mean, Nury Martinez was the president of the Los Angeles City Council, a pretty lofty, position, because Los Angeles is the second largest city in America. So being the president of the LA City Council was a lofty gig. We had this lady, Nury Martinez, was a member. She was the city council president. So it comes out that she made some racist remarks, and I did listen to the tape, and I heard it, and yeah, it was racist. It was racist, and two other Hispanic council members sat there and kind of like joined in, but really didn't. But they're guilty by association because they didn't say, hey, look, maybe you shouldn't be talking like that, because it was sad, especially during Hispanic Heritage Month. It was sad. So Nury Martinez, first she resigned as the council president, and then she turned around and resigned from the city council because, you're not going to hold on to your job like that. And the president of the union also resigned his position. And it was really, really very ugly what happened. And yeah, so it was Nury Martinez, Kevin De Leon, and Gil Cedillo were the three council members who were having this conversation. And they called the little kid a little monkey. She said it in Spanish. She didn't say it in English. She said it in Spanish, which proves that she knew what she was doing. And then what gets me is they come back later on and, oh, it wasn't me. And, that's not me. And I was just pissed off for a moment. Okay. That wasn't you. Okay. It had to be you. So they come back with this nonsense about it wasn't me. And, I'm not really like that. And yes, you are. But there's a lot of, there's a lot of people who may not have so much to lose, but there's a lot of people who are hiding behind a facade. there's a lot of people who are hiding behind a facade, who don't really say what they really want to say, because we're living in this cancel culture where if you say something wrong, you're not going to get any more movies. If you're famous and you say something wrong, you're going to get your head chopped off. And even for people like down here where the rest of us are, we don't, you can't really say how you really feel unless you're around some people who who feel the same way you do. Because you look on Facebook, for example, and you see all these people, these couples, and they're supposed to be so happy. But not to sound like a hater or anything, but like, are they really? There's a lot of people who have two different personalities. They got the personality that takes place behind closed doors when they're sitting on the couch with the Netflix, and then there's the public persona. So there's a public persona and there's the private persona. And that's exactly what happened with this Miss Nuri Martinez. I believe her name was Martinez, who, and then talked about, and it wasn't just racist, but it was anti-LGBTQ for the one of the other council members who is a white guy, and he has a son that he adopted. It was black. That's black, a little kid. And so she goes, "Oh, I'll take the little kid in the back. He needs a beat down. Let me take him in the back. He'll be straight when he comes out." And I'm like, wow. And see, this isn't shout out to Dex, my brother Dex. Oh, Wall Street did good today. Wall Street was great today. 800 points or something like that. Unbelievable. So anyway, yeah. So one of the other council members that she was talking about is a white guy who has a black kid. And he calls him a little monkey in Spanish. And then she, says, "I'll take him in the back and he needs a beat down." You're talking about a little kid needs a beat down. So, it's not so surprising. See, so this stuff happens, a lot of people just kind of, wow. And, me personally, I'm not surprised at that at all, because there's a lot of people, and not necessarily high up on the totem pole where she was, but a lot of people who are down here where the rest of us are, who keep these things basically to themselves, but do have racist, are racist, who do have racist thoughts, who don't like blacks, who don't like whites, who don't like Jews. And there's a lot of people out here like that. There's a lot of people like that, but they just don't say it because of the cancel culture, especially now. Maybe a few years ago, you could have been able to get away with it, but now with the cancel culture, you can't say anything about anybody. So they were having a meeting. It wasn't necessarily a council meeting, but it was a meeting with the lady Nuri Martinez, two other council members, and a union president. There was supposed to be a meeting tonight. It was canceled because Nuri Martinez, who was the president of the Los Angeles City Council, she resigned. First, she resigned from her post as the president, and then the next day or the day after, she resigned from being a council person at all. Now they're waiting for two other, De Leon and Cedillo. They're waiting for them to step down, but they're trying to hold on to their jobs. But how could you? How could you? Now, no, maybe they didn't necessarily say, but they didn't try to stop her. So it's kind of like guilt by association. And yeah, but there's a lot of people walking around. You see on Facebook, Twitter, the only place you might see people who really are who they are is like maybe on TikTok. You know, on TikTok, there's no, because they don't care. TikTok, when you go to TikTok and you go on TikTok, you know, you can get millions of likes and followers on TikTok. And you don't have to present yourself in a certain way. Because the women, they're walking around, their titties bouncing, you know, they're wearing thongs and their butt crack is showing and all of this stuff. And they get a lot of likes. So TikTok is probably the only place where you can go and just be you. But some of the rest of these places, Instagram and Facebook and some of the other places, these people, not everybody is who they present themselves to be on Facebook, especially Facebook. Because you see the couples, oh, we're in Paris, oh, we're in, you know, I mean, no married couple has survived the entirety of the marriage without some kind of problems. And I see people on Facebook that I know who lived somewhere else. Wifey was doing her thing. He was doing his thing. I know people. I mean, I know personally who were doing that kind of stuff, but they'll never mention it because you got the Facebook persona where I have to appear to be perfect. And a lot of these politicians, I mean, you don't, who knows what they're thinking, you know, who knows what the politicians is thinking. It's 12 minutes past the hour. Yeah, who knows what people are thinking? Who knows what the white guy that you work with is thinking about you? And he doesn't know what you're thinking about him, you know? So it's just kind of like a bunch of people wearing masks. It's like a perpetual Halloween. Everybody's wearing a mask. And not many people who are being who they are. Now, I can appreciate the Republicans. I mean, I don't subscribe to them, but I can appreciate them. I can appreciate the Republicans because at least you know how they feel about you. You know, you know how they feel about you. So there's no, you know, so I can appreciate that. I'd rather have that than somebody befriending me who is not really my friend, somebody who thinks of me as some kind of animal, you know. So yeah, I'd rather have somebody tell me the truth. So I can appreciate the Republicans and how they carry themselves and some of the things that they do. I can appreciate that because at least you know who you're dealing with. You know, at least you know who you're dealing with. It's 13 minutes past the hour. I need to let you know that the views and opinions expressed here are exclusively those of myself, R. Kelly Media Enterprises, and are not those of my advertisers or my sport team. Shout out to Amaker and Porterfield. The Ron Kelly Show is being sponsored by Amaker and Porterfield Transportation. 42 years transporting children safely to and from school, medical, field trips, sporting events, you name it. Amaker and Porterfield can definitely handle it. And if you mention the Ron Kelly Show, when you get there, mention the Ron Kelly Show, and you will receive a 10% discount. That's right. A whopping, I need some water. A whopping 10% discount just by mentioning the Ron Kelly Show. I mean, can it get any simpler than that? So definitely call 908-753-6423. That's 908-753-6423. And mention the Ron Kelly Show, and you will get 10% off. 10% off, a whopping 10% off your whatever it is that you need Amaker and Porterfield to do for you. So check them out, 908-753-6423, 908-753-6423 for Amaker and Porterfield, Plainfield, New Jersey. So yeah, and you know, and I don't mean to make it sound like all Hispanics, because I did mention Hispanic Heritage Month, and I didn't want to make it sound like if I did, I didn't mean to make it sound like uh, I didn't mean to make it sound like all Hispanics are. I didn't want to make it. I didn't mean to make it sound like all Hispanics are racist, because they're not. You know, because they're not. Hispanic people are good people. Not all of them are racist, but these three, and especially the city council president, she is a dyed in the wool racist. I mean, you even talking about a little kid, talking about beating down a little kid. He needs a beat down. That's what she said. He needs a beat down. I'm like, wow, for real? So it was Nuri Martinez, and then the other two, Kevin De Leon and Gil Cedillo. They were the other two council people who were there. Now, again, it wasn't a council meeting per se, and somebody taped the conversation. Somebody taped the conversation. So these two council people are trying to hold on to their gigs, and they cancel the council meeting. The two council members held out Thursday against like overwhelming calls for them to resign, for joining the racist conversation. Gil Cedillo and Kevin De Leon are resisting. And then they even talked about Mexicans. They called the councilperson's black son a monkey, and then they talked about Mexicans from the state of Oaxaca, and talked about Armenians and Jews. I mean, they just went the whole, 9 yards. Anyway, so the other two people had not Cedillo and De Leon had not resigned yet. They had not resigned yet. But, they're going to have to at some point. They're going to have to at some point. All right, everybody. It's 20 minutes past the hour exactly. Take a quick break and come right back with more of this program. It's the Ron Kelly Show, everybody, and it's on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Back in a moment with more of the Ron Kelly Show. Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go. George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
All right, everybody, we are back. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, theronkellyshow.com, Facebook, LinkedIn. Shout out to my LinkedIn people. The show's doing very nicely over there. Thank you to my LinkedIn folks. I thank to everybody who listens to me every week. The Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and also Twitter, which I'm kind of on the fence about Twitter. But anyway, thank you for those of you who did decide to join me. Thank you for joining me here on the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show. Yeah, so so the Supreme Court dropped a bomb on New York and New Jersey, and it was meant for them. I mean, let's not get it twisted. They dropped a bomb on New York and New Jersey when they declared the law, New Jersey and New York's gun laws, unconstitutional, and they were. I mean, let's not, get it mixed up. they were unconstitutional because we do have a Second Amendment that says that you have the right to carry a firearm. You have a right to carry a firearm, not just have it in your house where, you got to leave the gun in the house and you go outside and somebody robs you or jacks your car and there's nothing you can do about it. You don't have any protection for yourself, And all of the states that had these draconian laws, gun laws, were states who were run by Democrats. States that were run by Democrats. So now you got all-out war being perpetrated on legal gun owners by state of New York, state of New Jersey specifically. And you see, it's just wrong. It's wrong. Now they're talking about interviewing your friends. There's nothing you can do. You can't stop these. You can't stop these. What happened in Parkland? Matter of fact, the verdict came down today for Nicholas Cruz, who killed 17 people at the Marjorie Stoneman High School in Florida. Verdict came down today. I think they recommended that Nicholas Cruz should get life imprisonment. That's what the jury recommended. But I guess it'll be up to the judge to decide what she wants to do. Lamont Gates says, does that same amendment say anything about regulation? Yeah, I mean, you can have regulations, but these are out and out. I mean, interviewing your friends, making you get insurance, because you can't do nothing about the criminals. And see, this is the problem, Lamont Gates. They're powerless to stop the criminals because the criminals don't get permits. The criminals don't, they don't get permits. They don't take tests. They don't, go to the range. The range for the criminals is the street, the hood. That's the range, and the New York, Governor Hochul, Governor Murphy, and I like the mayor of the city of New York, Eric Adams, but you guys are barking up the wrong tree. I mean, because I've owned my gun for 12 years. I never shot anybody. And I never carried my gun illegally. Never. You see, because people, honest gun owners like myself don't go out there shooting people. Who does that amendment actually say can own? I think it's 21, 18 or 21. And basically, you're not supposed to have any, you can't have a record. You can't have a record. You can't have a history of domestic violence. I mean, just like anything else. You can't have a record. You can't have been to jail or committed a crime or you're an ex-convict. Yeah, that's the stuff that we expect. That's the stuff we expect. I mean, that makes sense that you don't want somebody who's a criminal to be able to carry a firearm. That makes sense. I'm okay with that. The other thing is where you can carry it. I mean, they every inch of ground once you walk out the door is sacred ground, and you can't carry your gun. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I think the amendment. I'm not sure, Lamont Gates, if to read the Second Amendment and let me know if you believe the SCOTUS interpreted it correct. I believe that they did. I believe that they did. You're allowed to carry a firearm. I believe that the Supreme Court did interpret it correctly. See, because it wasn't so much. It's what the laws in New Jersey and New York were unconstitutional because it's not supposed to be up to the chief of police if they like you, if they don't like you. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be the facts. If you have a history of violence, if you've been to prison, I mean, those are the facts. That's what you can use if you don't want to give somebody a firearm. But this stuff, and I have a carry permit, and the law was that you had to have a gun, that you had to have a job, rather, in order to have a carry permit. And if you weren't working like you're supposed to be working, or if you weren't working at correct amount, it was too laborious. You know, that law was unconstitutional because it came down to individual people. If they like you, if they don't like you. I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. So the law was unconstitutional because it infringed on people's rights. That law infringed, the way the laws are set up in New York and New Jersey, it infringed on people's Second Amendment rights. And then the other thing too is, of course, the states that they declared the law unconstitutional were Democratic states. So that's the other thing they wanted to, stick it to the Democratic governors of those states, New York, New Jersey, California, New Mexico, Massachusetts, I think was one of them. Yeah, they want to stick it to because I knew all along that they were going to be doing it. But the problem now is that the states, at least I know New York and New Jersey because I'm from around here, have gone into all out war against people who licensed gun owners, because now they want you to get insurance. Then they want to look at your Facebook or your social media. Then they want to interview your friends. I mean, do you know how long this is going to take? So once again, they're infringing on the residents of New York and New Jersey, infringing on the Second Amendment rights. Now, they did, and those laws, New York set up a bunch of laws, and the federal judge said no. I mean, why would you be afraid of legal gun owners, people who do the right thing, people who don't commit crimes, people who go to work every day and do what they got to do? And see, so you're tying up the illegal gun owners, and meanwhile, the criminals are running the streets and robbing people and doing whatever the hell they want. You see, the problem is that Governor Hochul, the state of New York and the state of New Jersey can't do crap about the crime that's escalating in this area. Keechant Sewell, who Eric Adams picked as the next commissioner of the police commissioner of the city of New York, she must be like overwhelmed. Because every time we turn around, somebody's getting stabbed on the train, somebody's getting shot, 17-year-old dead, 19-year-old teaching assistant dead just the other day. I mean, dead. And these are, stray bullets from gang members and jokers who were just out there running buck wild. Those people, but you can't do anything about them. You have to wait for them to do something, and then you can go and try. And even then, you're not always able to find them. So they're taking out their frustration on licensed gun owners like me who don't do anything wrong. You're not going to solve the problem with crime by attacking people who don't commit crimes. Like I said, I had my gun since 2010, or probably earlier than that, and I never carried it illegally, and I never shot at anybody. I don't contribute to the crime in the state of New Jersey. It's the criminals do, but they can't do nothing about them, so they're going to try to come after us. Because the bottom line is they can't do nothing about them. They can't do nothing about them. So you know what? I got to take a break. Let me take a quick break and come back with more of this show. Take a quick break and come back with more of this show. I'll be back in just a moment with more. It's Ron Kelly Show, and it's on Facebook. It's on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. All right, everybody, we are back. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. So welcome back, everybody. It's 28 minutes before the hour. So yeah, I don't get it. I really don't get it of how they can attack the little guy like yours truly. Anyway, it's 27 minutes before the hour, I think. Yeah, 25 minutes before the hour. Yeah. Yes. So welcome back, everybody. October 13th. Nice outside. Nice. I mean, you know, every day when I go out to go to the plantation, I watch somebody tell somebody who worked as I said that. And I'm expecting it to be cold. But by 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I'm taking stuff off, you know, because it's not really that bad. Anyway, it's 26 minutes before the hour. So, the January 6th, they had the January 6th meeting. They said it was going to be the last meeting. They're trying to get Trump to go. They're trying to get Trump himself to testify. Now, you know damn well Trump is not going to testify at no January 6th hearing. We can forget about that. I doubt very seriously if that happens at all. I doubt it. All right. Yeah. So I'm looking today. I'm looking today, and you know I'm watching MSNBC, and I don't know who the producer is over there, but they were with that Nicholas Cruz and the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas killing with 17 people were killed, you know, and for the most, and see, the thing about that, most of the time the person kills himself. So there's no, most of the time the person kills himself. So there's no trial because they kill themselves. This time, Nicholas Cruz, for some reason, decided that he wanted to live, and he didn't kill himself. So this is a rare moment for a mass shooter to go to trial. And then you have the other thing that happened. The guy is I think he's representing himself. 5 dead, 40 injured. And the guy is representing himself in this. And that trial, the Christmas parade. Waukesha, Wisconsin, killing 6 people. So he is representing himself. So it's an automatic loss. So in most of the time, these people kill themselves. So it was rare that there was a trial because most of the people killed themselves. So Nicholas Cruz is 24 years old now. And you have to think of like, what possesses a person? What possesses a person? I mean, I don't care what happened in your life. I don't care what kind of childhood you had. My childhood wasn't that great, but I'm not out here trying to kill people. It's just, there's no excuse for that. What Nicholas Cruz did, there's no excuse for that. And you went out and you got a weapon, you secured yourself a weapon, and you went into that school. I mean, and you had time to turn around and say, you know what, maybe I shouldn't do that. I mean, you had time, and you didn't take advantage of it. You had time. You could have I'm going to kill all these people. They're innocent. They're minding their business, yada, yada, yada. And oh no, you had to go ahead and kill him. So it took like forever for them because they had to read each count. The judge had to read each count. There were 17 counts of murder. So the judge had to read each count, and it took forever because I'm like, okay, let's get to the end. Let's get to the part where they say death penalty, life in prison, whatever the case may be. So when it got to the end, and then the judge said she's going to, after waiting through all of that, her reading all the verdict sheets, get to the end, and then she goes, well, I'm going to sentence him on November 1st. That's like 2 weeks from now. So after waiting all that time, because otherwise I would have been like, whatever. After waiting all that time for the judge to give her, to set the punishment, and there was no punishment. But he's 24 years old. I mean, what goes through your mind? It's 21 minutes before the hour. What goes through your mind? What goes through your mind when you are, preparing yourself, getting the gun, loading the gun? I mean, what, I mean, what could you possibly have been thinking about during that time? It's just unbelievable. And but his lawyer, Nicholas Cruz's lawyer, did a good job because, I mean, if he doesn't get the death penalty, she did a great job because there was no getting him off. That was out. there was no getting him off. So the best thing she could do was save his life. What life he'll have, he's only 24 years old, so he's probably going to spend 40 or 50 years in prison. And I have to, agree that, let him sit in jail for 50 years. People complain about the cost and all of that stuff, but no, let him sit in jail for 50 years. You had 50 years to think about the people that you killed. Okay. All right, take a break, come back. It's the Ron Kelly Show. And it's on blogtalkradio.com and ronkellyshow.com. The United States of America was the greatest country before Trump, and it's the greatest country now after Trump. The white supremacists want to go back. They want to go back to the days when it was legal to own slaves.
You are about to be entertained by the ape, the young man who has become a legend of his own time. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go. George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
Yes, it is. Welcome back, everybody. It's the Ron Kelly Show. And it's on Facebook, it's on LinkedIn, it's on YouTube, and it's on Twitter. And I do have I'm not into it that much, but I do have a TikTok situation set up over there. So if you ever see me over there, I'm not going to be dancing. I'm not going to be showing my private parts or anything like that. A lot of stuff that you see over there, no, that's not going to be me. But I do have a situation over there. And some people over there got millions of likes, 3 million, and people I never even heard of. They got millions and millions of likes. I'm like, wow, really? Yeah. Okay, 17 before the hour. So I think they had the last January 6th, and I'm getting kind of, put some people in jail, put some high-ranking people in jail. Mark Murphy, put some of the people in jail that Trump pardoned. Put some of them in jail because we know what happened with January 6th. We all know what happened. We know what happened. We know who. We know what happened. We know how it happened. We know who. I mean, we may not have like absolute 100% proof, but we know who was involved. And we know that Trump was involved, and he told a bunch of lies, and he tried to get the people, to overturn the election. And he had his, fake electors going to state capitals and trying to, we know all of this stuff. But what's going to happen at the end? Because if you don't cut off the head of the snake, guess what? So, shout out to my people, Amica and Porterfield. You can email them as well, Amica and Porterfield, amica.porterfield at Verizon.net, amica.porterfield at Verizon.net. And the views and opinions expressed here are exclusively those of me, myself, and I, and R. Kelly Media Enterprises, and they're not those of my advertiser support team. I don't want to. You see what happened to Alex Jones? A billion. Now, of course, he doesn't have $1 billion. We all, we know that Alex Jones does not have $1 billion. So it was largely sentimental, with the jury. It was largely sentimental. Like it was largely sentimental, the jury verdict. I mean, because he don't have no $1 billion. I think that Alex Jones's net worth is like 40 million. That's far cry from $1 billion, 900 and something million. So there's no way he's going to be able to pay that. So it was kind of symbolic in a way. It was kind of symbolic, but he did say, and he had been saying for a long time, that the shooting that took place in Connecticut was a hoax. He had been saying that, and because he was saying it, his followers, the Trump, the MAGA people, were harassing the people who lost their loved ones. So, I mean, he's never going to have $1 billion. That's not ever going to happen. But they'll get some of what he's got now. They will get some of what he's got now. It's 14 minutes. Yeah, I gotta get out of here. I got just 14 minutes left to the hour. Here on the Ron Kelly Talk Radio show. Yeah, 13 minutes before the hour. So yeah, so I mean, you gotta watch what you say, Alex Jones. You gotta watch what you say, because what you say is gonna cost you $1 billion. And again, I mean, of course he doesn't have $1 billion. Of course not. But yeah, you gotta watch. You got to watch what the F you say around here. Anyway, it's 12 minutes before the hour. And I got 66 degrees outside, not bad for October the 13th, 2022. That's not bad at all. And once I break out of here, I'm going over to the cigar bar with some of my close personal friends and bump heads with them in just a couple minutes. Yeah, just a couple minutes. So yeah. Shout out to Sheriff Birdnick, who's running for. Shout out to Sheriff Birdnick, who's running for sheriff of Passaic County. Good luck to him. Always was a friend until I started talking about the police, and then he kind of dissed me. Because like I was telling y'all, I used to, when I produced a show back in the day, I would always make sure that no politicians, no police, because I knew a lot of politicians. That's how the show got started. A lot of politicians, and then sheriffs and police chiefs and police directors and all kinds of people who were on my show at that time. So back then I just avoided all of that stuff. And I produced the show based on them. And then I stopped doing that. So some of them got a little, but I definitely got to be me. There ain't gonna be no show. All right, everybody, I'm breaking out of here. It's just about 8 o'clock. October 13th, 2022. I'll be back next week with another edition of the Ron Kelly Show. So I'll be back next week for another edition of the Ron Kelly Show. It's yes, I am hitting the shop, but I'm not paying. Yeah, I am hitting the shop, but I'm not paying the $25 because I think there's a football game tonight. This football game is the Bears and somebody. It's not even worth, you know. Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah, but I will be stopping over there for a second. I need a cutter anyway, so I'm going to stop over there. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Appreciate you. See you back here next week for another edition of Ron Kelly Show. So until then, I like to say it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And that we may not have it all together, but together we can certainly have it all. Thank you so much. I'm out of here.